Show yourself, Ryu. You couldn't tell whether it was me or not after such a long time. Keeping guessing won't make any sense. Why you? It's really you. Why do you impersonate Xie Yan again? I hesitated for a long time and didn't even dare to say hi. Really? I thought you just wanted to confirm your suspicion. You always think I'm the real Xie Yan from the Maching sect, no? So, aren't you afraid that I'll kill you to keep my secret? You take me wrong. I dare not suspect your identity. Besides, I know this face well since you've disguised as Xie Yan in Yuta City. Humph, I won't buy any of your words. Anyway, glad that you at least hesitated. Don't greet Xie Yan. If you meet me with Xie Yan's face, I'll find you and talk to you. And if you meet the real Xie Yan and greet him, he may give you attitude. So, you impersonate Xie Yan for something? It has nothing to do with you. Stay out of this, and I'll bond with disciples from different sects as Xie Yan. You'd better not disturb me. Be good, okay? After messing with the Xinhua sect, he's gonna make trouble for the Maching sect as Xie Yan? I can't tell whether he's the real Xie Yan or not given his attitude. By the way, what are you doing here? To be a scout for the Chongling sect? Can't you just push the buck? You should totally stay out of all this. It's too late to talk about this. We not only failed to kill Gui, but also almost got all killed. With such a mess, how can I stay away? Don't you think you need to give me an explanation? Explanation? Why? They deserve all this as small potatoes. Look at how aggressive she is now. If I didn't know she killed Zhao Shi, I would think she was devoted to her sect. Wait. I just left the Hedao field and you waited here not long ago. How could you know what happened inside? And you just said almost? So, you don't know? Elder Shi escaped from the field with his secret cultivation method when he was on the verge of death, and then he told us what happened there. Now every disciple knows that there's something wrong with Gui. He was likely to be possessed by the former leader of the Xinhua sect and was thus much stronger. So our plan failed completely. Sure Taipu is still alive? No wonder his corpse disappeared inexplicably before. With Qing'er only, I failed to figure out he didn't die and run away. Elder Shi questioned me about this, and I managed to fob him off, and I was sent here to check the final results. Well, what happened? I really need your explanation. What happened? That's also what I want to know, how perfect my plan was. How could there be a survivor? How much does Shirtaipu know? Would he know he was used? No, even if he had the slightest suspicion of Yenryu wouldn't have left and showed up here. Shirtaipu must think it was an accident. Only in this way can Yenryu's appearance here make sense. I thought every disciple from the Chongling sect involved had died, and on my assumption, even if Yenryu knows my secret, she would keep it as before and use this as her bargaining chip one day since she has decided to stay out of this. There was an accident when we were about to kill Gui, but our plan didn't fail. After this, even if Gui is still alive, he has become the enemy of the Chongling sect. In this case, no one would get to the bottom of Zhao Shi's death, which bothers you the most. But now Shirtaipu is still alive, he's involved and knows about me. He doesn't suspect me now but may figure this out one day. If something goes wrong, Yenryu won't keep my secret at the risk of her life. Since everything just goes as you want. In the worst case, Yenryu would betray me, and I would even become a rival of both the Xinhua and the Chongling sect, to avoid this. What's the point of talking with me now? Even at the price of giving up the benefits in the Shilan Kingdom, I'll kill Yenryu. Origin point gained, feared Yenryu. I want to talk about the Hedao chamber. Not long after you left, a level 3 pre-celestial master passed by and took my Hedao chamber. Huh, no way, I left after the red light disappeared. How could anyone else find the chamber? It's all your fault. Why did you leave halfway? I just absorbed less than half of the energy. I almost broke through. I just agreed to share the level 3 chamber with you and I was being kind to guard you for half an hour. Blame it on your bad luck, it's none of my business. No, you promised to give me a level 3 Hedao chamber. If it weren't for the perfect achievement of your plan, I should have asked for it as soon as I came out, anyway. If I use the 5 elements shift at full strength, even a level 4 pre-celestial master can't stop me. Even Elder Shi doesn't know I have this trump card. Really? Great, it seems that this will come in handy during our trip to the Shilan Kingdom. He deliberately mentioned the Shilan Kingdom to imply he didn't want to kill me? Seems it's right for me to stay here, given his unforgiving nature. Once our relationship breaks up, he won't show mercy on me. Both of our secrets will get exposed in that case. I don't care about his fate, but I will definitely be hunted down and killed by my sect. But then again, we are not going to the Shilan Kingdom now, and I can't get you a hideout chamber right now. Come on, this is the Shimo Dark Tunnel. How can I get whatever I want here? You can't? You gave me a new chamber rather than kept it yourself, so you must have another chamber, right? You are all alone, so at least I can use the second chance in your chamber. Oh, that's what you want? Pity that someone else has used the second chance, and I've used up all the chambers. If you want another one, we both need to start from scratch. But I have a suggestion for you. It has been a dozen hours since the Shimo Dark Tunnel was opened and almost all the hideout chambers should have been occupied. If you stick to the level 3 chambers, you may end up empty-handed. You told Sheena that Shirtaipu gave you a guide to a level 2 hideout chamber, right? I think you should use that chamber to break through for good. Well, that makes sense. I'm running out of options anyway, but since you've finished your plan and absorbed enough energy, you don't have anything else to do here, right? Please go to the level 2 chamber with Permi, okay? Well, fine, lead the way then. Thank you so much. It's not far from here and it will take less than 1 hour to get there. Master, did you just want to kill her? Yeah, she knows too much about my secret. I showed mercy on Gui and didn't kill him, so my only flaw is that I have impersonated Guhuayu, and only Yenryu knows about this now. Yeah, if this is exposed, Gui may get you even though his memory was blurred. This is risky. Then why did you give up killing her halfway? Because she didn't escape and felt scared. This indicates that she also knew I wanted to kill her, but she stayed calm, let down her guard and approached me as usual. I could tell she was going soft. And she implied that she could run away even if Shirtaipu suspected her, so it was not that easy for her to betray me. Also, she wanted to tell me to keep the peace since it was not easy for me to kill her as well. She invited me to go to the chamber with her to show her trust. On second thought, Yenryu must have done something behind my back. What if she could expose my secret even after death? So it's better to keep her to smooth things over in the Chongling sect than to just kill her. I thought she invited you because she didn't want others to take her chamber again. Silly, you always think of others in a simple and kind way. How could Yenryu be that easy? Moreover, when a chamber is used once, the red light will disappear. In this case, it's almost impossible for someone else to find it. So how could she be this unlucky twice in a row? What, I shouldn't jinx it. How could there still be people here? Judging from their clothes and cultivation method, they must come from the Keshwaxi sect and the Chiliang sect. Why, I remember it's recorded that the two sects are on good terms with each other. It's okay if they fight for treasures or something, but there's no need to be this fierce. It feels like they're enemies. Huayu, it seems that they've been fighting for a while and won't stop until one of them dies. Let's just wait here for a while until their fight ends. Why bother? They're just 2 weak level 1 pre-celestial cultivators, and we can just kill them together at once. She wants to take this chance and test out my real strength again. I'll show her my power to intimidate her. We agreed that I used my insect to find the way and you protected me along the way. But you suddenly attacked me right before the hideout chamber. We've known each other for years, and you don't even care about the friendship between our sects at all? Friendship? I know you've used your poisonous insect on me. If I hadn't taken the initiative, I would have been killed, since the conflict in the Shilan Kingdom. The Chiliang sect hasn't taken our sex friendships seriously at all. The Shilan Kingdom? How can I interfere in the sex affairs? You don't even want to trust me? I should have killed you first. Trust? Our sects became enemies in the Shilan Kingdom, and we competed for the same chance. Would you trust me even if I trust you? Since we would doubt each other sooner or later, of course I should take the initiative. I didn't take the initiative, in fact. They died together. It seems that they found that someone had used this chamber once, and were afraid the other side would attack them for the second chance. So they attacked each other at full strength and ended up like this. The Shimo spirit does appeal to the disciples of the 9 sections. As the deadline approaches, the disciples who haven't got a chance will lose their minds due to anxiety. But the 2 of them did talk about the Shilan Kingdom. What's going on? Are we not the only 2 who are targeting the Shilan treasury? The Keshwaxi sect and the Chiliang sect are also involved? Well, the Shilan Kingdom is located in a remote area with limited news resources, and I got the information a long time ago. I did not notice something at that time, but now I can find some clues when looking back. At that time, the civil chaos in the Shilan Kingdom lasted for a long time, even though the royal members almost all died. There was no one who ended the chaos and reigned over the kingdom again. As far as I know, there were finally two main forces against each other controlling the delicately poised Xie kingdom, and both sides didn't want to destroy each other at once. Instead, they searched for people related to the former royal family in their territories respectively. I thought they did this for some political reasons, but it seems I was wrong, since the two sects targeting the Xie kingdom broke cooperation with each other and started fighting each other. They may be behind the two forces in the Xie kingdom. And they want a royal member, the key to the Xie treasury. It seems that the situation in the Xie kingdom is much more complicated than expected. Well, forget it. We can't get more information since the two disciples are dead. We'll know what to face when we are in the Xie kingdom. You go absorb the energy and I'll check their bodies for further information. Okay, I'll leave this to you then. Given the two sects' mediocre strength, they couldn't devote all they have to the Xie treasury, so I'll definitely find a way to deal with them. But why? Why are these two sects involved? And, although the power source stones are precious, they don't need to fight for the stones like this as members of the profound and powerful 9 sections. There must be another reason for it. Huh? Why are you here right after getting in? It should take a little longer, no? We've got some problems. The chamber is empty. Someone has used the second chance. Oh my, I can't believe she is this unlucky. To be honest, it's really hard to find one. I'm okay with helping you, but it already took me so much effort to find the 2 chambers. I know it's hard to find another chamber, but how can I let go of such a good opportunity? The 9 sects meeting is only held once in 40 years. Then what to do now? How about we split up and... That's the Qingming sect's technique. Someone is fighting with a disciple from the Qingming sect? This power must come from a level 4 pre-celestial cultivator, but this person seems to be at a disadvantage. Why? That is, Mengpingxing? Don't go too far. My dream soul puppet has only attacked you once. You've already broken my bell and driven me out of the Hadao field. And now you even follow me here. What else do you want? I only want to stab you with my sword if you can't take it. Just turn around and run away. As long as you are fast enough, you won't suffer. How dare you? You are just in level 3 of the pre-celestial stage. Do you think I dare not kill you? I don't care about your feelings. Take my sword. What is this? Lethal swordsmanship. Omnipotent triculation. This is so powerful. That person is just in level 3 of the pre-celestial stage. And I just saw the sword. Could it be? Why you? There's only the sword and some blood? Looks like Mengpingxing escaped with injuries. Did he think the fight made no sense? Or he knew he wouldn't win? This sword is red all over and glowing. This is consistent with what sect leader has told me. So the one who fought with Mengpingxing must come from the Wendao sect. Wendao sect, the top evil sect. It's said that it has only 2 sect members, but neither of them is recorded in the Maching sect's handbook. I was thinking if I would have a chance to meet them during the 9 sects meeting. Luckily, it's happening. You're a disciple of the Maching sect? Your internal power is entwined with emotions and lust. Is it the flowery sword power created by the legendary sect leader one? Oh, she can see through that. Besides, there is another internal power, which is slightly weaker and with a specious trace of the mantra of hexatic senses. It is mixed with many things that I can't understand, but I'm sure it's from Shimo's sect. Interesting. These 2 types of internal power should repel each other. They're completely incompatible, but why can they be clearly separated in your body and coexist safely? Even my master had no chance to see Wentingen's lost knowledge, let alone such a strange fusion technique. Your cultivation level is not low. Maybe you can take my strike. What the hell? Why are you still trying to fight me since you appreciated me? I just passed by and inquired about the information. Are you so stingy that you don't even allow others to take a look at you? Miss Wei, I've told you there's no need to chase him. We have finished absorbing the energy of the Shimo spirits, so it doesn't matter to give the Hadao chamber to that person. Zhong Shixing from Bliss Temple, a cultivator of level 1, pre-celestial stage. I was just swept by his internal power, and I didn't get hurt. You were overreacting. I drew my sword only because he got in my way. Everyone you meet can be your enemy when wandering in the world, which is the principle of the Qingming sect, and I just gave him a taste of his own medicine. You are born to be a talent for swordsmanship. Going straight with determination is the most suitable path for you. Blind forbearance and restraint do no good for your cultivation. He is the new disciple of the Bliss Temple who is at level 1 of the pre-celestial stage and is about the same age as Xie Yan. Why is he with someone from the Wendao sect? And the sect's handbook didn't mention him, But after meeting him in person, I feel that he looks somehow familiar to me. He looks like someone. Who is that? There you go again. I'm a disciple of the Bliss Temple, and I have no intention of joining the Wenao sect. Eh? Oh, are you Master Xie from the Maching sect? Oh? You know me? I'm Zhong Shixin from the Bliss Temple. It's an honor to meet you. The Maching sect has a close relationship with our sect, and we have portraits of all important figures to circulate within our temple. You helped us a lot before. How could I not know you? Helped you? It was because of me that the Bliss Temple failed to invade the Maching sect, and 5 pre-celestial masters died together. Since then, the Bliss Temple has become the weakest sect among the 9 sections. Can this be called help? Of course it was. Back then, thanks to you that our former sect leader's plan for the invasion was stopped. The 9 sects share the same origin, and each has its own strength. Even if our former sect leader's plan worked, the Maching sect wouldn't be easily annexed. Even if we won, there must be constant rebellions and killings, and in the end, most of the casualties would be the ordinary disciples of the 2 sections. So you not only stopped the plot against the Maching sect but also prevented us from being hurt and killed in a battle. What's more, when Lu Qimei fought for power before, if you hadn't helped us, our temple would have been controlled by the Shima sect, so how could I forget your kindness? This boy. Oh right, Master Xie, are you still looking for a chamber? I was lucky to come across a level 3 Hadao chamber, and there is a complete Shimo spirit left. The entrance is on a strange rock in the shade of the mountain, if you need it. He doesn't. He is calm and composed, and he had time to come here for fun. I guess he must have done with absorbing energy, but I'm not sure if it's also the case with the person hiding behind. She seems very interested in your proposal. Even her breath has become obvious. I'm Yan Ryu from the Chongling sect. Nice to meet you, Miss Wei. I thought I hid well, but you are so discerning that you saw through me at once. What I hate the most in my life are people hiding in the dark, sneaking around and plotting. You got me wrong, Miss Wei. I didn't plot anything. I came here with Mr. Xie, and I'm just always cautious. I should kill people like you. But since you are this boy's friend, I won't draw my sword. All right, we should go. Let them deal with the Hadao chamber. Are we leaving now? Well, Master Xie, see you. Miss Wei, wait for me. I told you not to call me that. I'm much older than you. It's inappropriate to call me that. But you will be unhappy if I call you madam. You don't say anything about it, but I can feel that your sword's vibe gets fierce. Could you just call me master? But I am a disciple of the Bliss Temple, how can I? They finally left. Fortunately, we didn't fight against her, otherwise, it would be much trouble. You are overreacting. She is at the 3rd level of the pre-celestial stage, and so am I. She could fight off Meng Pingxing with one strike. And I can handle him too. You misunderstood me. Only an inexperienced rookie would make a mistake like judging one's strength by realm, and I'm not that kind of superficial person. You're mean. Do you know why the 9 sects of the Han Empire have been headed by the Wenao sect for thousands of years, the sect that has always had 2 members? Although the sect ranking is in name only, and the real power of each sect has never been revealed easily, the Wenao sect is an exception. People from the Wenao sect are always mysterious, but its cultivation techniques are known to all the other 8 sections. The 9 sects all derived from the Shimo sect, and the Wenao sect inherited the sword cultivation, enforcing the law and punishment, and deciding one's fate. Therefore, their techniques have a natural restraint power against all the cultivation techniques of the Shimo sect. Every disciple of the Wenao sect, from the day they joined in, would begin to nurture a sword with their own blood according to the sect's secret technique. It is rumored that as long as a disciple of the evil sect is cut by that bloody sword, even if it's a small wound, it will cause internal power in the body to boil and the blood to flow backward. It was a method that the Shimo sect used to punish disciples in ancient times, but now it's the cornerstone of the Wenao sect, making the other sects of the Han Empire dare not challenge its authority. Whether you cultivate the traditional inheritance of the Shimo sect or derived ones, as long as there are traces of the Shimo sect inside you, which means the Shimo spirit can work on you, you will definitely be restrained by the martial techniques of the Wenao sect. I didn't expect the Wenao sect to be so powerful. No wonder the sect leader told us to back off if we encounter the Wenao sect in the 9 sects meeting. It turns out that they are beyond our powers to fight with. The finger of flowery swords and the demonic art of Moro are both derived from the martial techniques of the Shimo sect, which means I will be restrained by the Wenao sect's techniques. Why did I integrate the mantra of hexatic senses before? I have dug my own grave. It seems like a solution that I can clean off all my internal power and fight with her with the immortal dominating punches physically. I just don't know whether I can win or not in that case. However, the so-called secret techniques of the Wendao sect can only restrain the techniques of the other evil sects, while your faceless mantra is much more powerful. The flowery sword power that you imitated can even fool the disciple of the Wendao sect. I can imitate any skill with the faceless mantra as long as I want to. Really? Can you imitate the swordsmanship of the Wendao sect? That's a special technique. I can't imitate it for now. Yeah, it's said that Wendao sect's martial arts are special that only people with a very rare physique can practice, so it's not easy for the sect to get a disciple. Miss Wei is old. Yet she's still at level 3 of the pre-celestial stage. Probably because she joined the Wendao sect late. Why can't I tell she's old? She speaks ill of Miss Wei behind her back since she is no match for her. She's lucky this time. The boy of the Bliss Temple she found has been at level 1 of the pre-celestial stage at such a young age. However, it may not be a good thing for that boy. It's said that when one reaches the late stage of the Wendao sect's cultivation, he or she will become heartless and passionless. They will take their swords as their partners and never get married for life, just like eunuchs in the palace. I can't tell whether she is making rumors to vent her grievances or telling the truth. Well, stop gossiping, but then again, the Wendao sect is powerful, and that boy can be thought highly of by them. He must be very talented. I'm surprised that he not only has courage but also got the opportunity. Things have become interesting. Courage? What do you mean by that? I can tell he is quite humble from his speaking. Everyone knows that Xie Yan from the Bliss Temple follows the Maching sect's lead. Isn't it reasonable for him to respect you? He seemed to flatter the Maching sect, but thinking deeply, since the Maching sect could fight back, would the Bliss Temple be willing to be annexed? He implied that it's okay to take advantage of the Bliss Temple, but not try to annex it. Otherwise, the disciples of the Maching sect who stood up to fight will be examples of the Bliss Temple. With such a young disciple in the Bliss Temple, they will confront the Maching sect sooner or later. Many uncertain things increased, but if I make good use of this boy, my plan may be easier to carry out. Judging from his words and behaviors, he does seem to be up to something from the Maching sect, and he doesn't look like part of the evil sect since he didn't seem to be familiar with the Wendao sect. Is he really not Xie Yan, but a mysterious guy with Guhuayu's face and cultivation techniques? He has strange cultivation techniques to strengthen his body, which has never been heard of in the world. Thinking deeply, could he come from somewhere beyond the Han Empire? She is hesitating. Yan Ryu is born skeptical. It's not easy to make her believe one thing, but it's easy to make her suspect something. As long as I keep disguising myself as Xie Yan, Yan Ryu won't take risks of doing something. In this way, it doesn't matter whether she believes my words or not. The Bliss Temple stays tolerant and dormant. The Wendao sect is at the tip of the spear. The Xinhua sect is sinister and eerie, and the Chongling sect has a method of escape that even Yi Daoqi couldn't notice. And the Keshuaxi sect and the Qiliang sect had taken action in the Xilan kingdom. Apart from the Qingming sect and the Wushang sect that I met once, I've learned about all the evil sects of the Han Empire in this 9 sects meeting. None of them are easy to get along with. Alright, since we were offered a Hadao chamber, let's go get it. When you finish absorbing the energy of the Shimo spirits, the 9 sects meeting is about to come to an end. Humph, it's good to use the Hadao chamber that has been used once. We absorbed energy quietly, and came to an end smoothly without causing any trouble. But, what's wrong with you? You've put on that look since we came out of the Hadao chamber. We just got a complete level 3 Shimo spirit. It may be the best opportunity in the 9 sects meeting. Why do you have a long face, like suffering losses? It's nothing. I didn't expect that the Xinhua oath would have such a serious influence that it can undermine the effect of the Shimo spirit. In the end, I only absorbed about 30% or 40% energy from a complete Shimo spirit. Damn, there was only one chance to break through in 40 years, and I just wasted it. I am afraid that my cultivation will be ruined if the Xinhua oath keeps haunting me. I must get rid of it as soon as possible. But then again, I know he is not Guhuayu and he is not haunted by the Xinhua oath. But he acts like he knows nothing about it. Has he really forgotten our cooperation? Or has he not cared and tried to help me at all? It's important for me to go to the Xilan kingdom, but for him, it's only an optional treasure hunting trip. Now, 2 evil sects have gotten involved, making the situation unpredictable. If we confront some trouble, he might retreat at once. Maybe I should do something so that he can't easily abandon our cooperation. By the way, I suddenly think of something. Now that you have finished absorbing energy, how are you going to report to Shirtaipu after going back? Well, I came for you in the name of investigation. Now I've achieved my purpose, and naturally, I will just give him an excuse. After all, with Idochi's ability, it's reasonable that he can break free from the formation before I get back. In your opinion, how will the Chonling sect deal with it after losing Idochi's whereabouts? Elder Sure was furious that the plan ended up in such an outcome, but Sumin as the party involved was killed, while Gui, the original target, has disappeared now. Mr. Wei's death was caused by Idochi, but his appearance was an incident for the Shinhwa sect. I think my sect will probably decide how to deal with it after the Shinhwa sect takes some moves. But then again, did you know Xie had been possessed by Idochi from the very beginning? Was this trap set up for Idochi? I don't have the foresight to see through Idochi's identity. I just got some clues from the secret records of the Shinhwa sect. Besides, Gui is my father. It's reasonable that I could tell something strange about him. He knows about Gui? I don't think so. He is full of nonsense and too mysterious to figure out. I'm afraid that few of his words are true, and I just don't understand what he really wants. But the Chonling sect doesn't have to wait for the actions of the Shinhwa sect. As long as you report to Shirtaipu as I say, the next move of the Shinhwa sect will be evident. You just need to say that when you sneaked into the Hadao chamber with your fleeing art, you happened to see that Idochi was executing Sumin, and here's Sumin's last words. So it's all set up by the sect leader? He has been determined to use you to go against the Chonling sect from the very beginning. In order to carry out the plan and clear the way for Gui, the sect leader even abandoned me and the others. Do you intend to make the Chonling sect and the Shinhwa sect fight each other? It's too absurd. No matter what I say, elders sure won't completely believe my words. That's true. If you talk about it clearly and logically, even an idiot will suspect you. I don't need the Chonling sect to be so sure of it, but it's enough that Shirtaipu will become skeptical about Yuanxing plotting behind. As for how much and how to say it in order not to be suspected, you are a smart person and you know how to do it. I can assure you that Sumin was still alive when Shirtai feigned death and ran away. Even if it turns out that it's not the case, you can still place all the blame on a dead man's last words. What does Sumin's misjudgment have to do with you? He is right. If the conflict between the Chonling sect and the Shinhwa sect really intensifies, it will coincide with my initial expectation. What's more, since he made such a request, he expects me to cooperate with him to make this story stick. As long as I am still of use to him, there will be no variables in the trip to Shilan Kingdom in the short term. I got it. I will do it as you say. We need to prepare for the trip to the Shilan Kingdom after leaving the Shimo Dark Tunnel. We can take this opportunity to stay away from disputes and suspicion. However, may I ask where you will meet with me? Hulu Town is near the Yi ruins, and it's also very close to Shaobao Mountain where we met for the first time. We will meet there and then set out for the Shilan Kingdom together. Hulu Town. That's convenient. It will take me about 15 days to get there from my sect. How about you? I almost revealed my secret. I only need 7 days. In that case, I will follow your schedule. 15 days later, we'll meet at the Hulu Inn in Hulu Town. 7 days? Maching sect is located in the south, while the Yi ruins are in the central. It takes at least 2 months to go between. Even if a pre-celestial master keeps traveling with all his strength, he can't make it in less than a month, except for the 9 sects. No one in the world can enter the Shimo Dark Tunnel from elsewhere, so he didn't get here from the Maching sect? The sect which is closest to Hulu Town is Wushang sect. It does need less than 7 days to set off from Daba Mountain. Even if he shot from the hip, within 15 days, except for the Chongling sect, only the sect gate of the Qingming sect can make that happen. Given his scheming nature, it's very likely that he confused me. Probably, he did enter the Shimo Dark Tunnel from the sect gate of the Wushang sect. I just can't be sure that it is his real base. Or another disguised identity. Either way, he can't be Xie Yan. The 9 sects meeting is of great importance. With charming jade child status in the Maching sect, if he is absent, the whole sect must know about it, and such news can't be kept from men of intention. Thinking over it, this man pretended to be Gehuayu to make trouble for the Shinhwa sect, and now he lurks in the Maching sect, pays much attention to the Bliss Temple, and very likely has a plan against the Wushang sect. Does he want to lobby the major sects and stir up turmoil and civil strife among the evil sects? By the teleportation magic, it's a piece of cake for me to go to Hulu Town within a minute. I just took this opportunity to make her believe that she has figured out my base, so she would be less sure that I'm Xie Yan of the Maching sect. Even if she is seen through by the Chongling sect and thus betrays me for survival, she will probably say that a mysterious guy who disguised himself as Xie Yan did the trick. After all, in her deduction, there is another Xie Yan in the Shimo Dark Tunnel, and she gets no reason to provide her sect with uncertain information. And if everything goes well, a complicated and confusing identity can override Yenryu better. I can't kill her right now, at least not until I use her to disrupt the situation between the Xinhua sect and the Chongling sect and completely cut off the possibility of them finding out the truth together. Well, that's it. I'll meet you in Hula Town in 15 days. I'm going back right now. If you have spare time, you can inquire about more information before the end of the 9 sects meeting. Nice arrangement. I will do the job and I will also share the information with you later. I know you are reliable. All right, go ahead, I know what to do. Arena at the Marching Sect. Thanks for your help. If you didn't help me, I'm afraid that I would get nothing this time, and those old women in the sect would laugh at me. Xie Yan, tell me what you want. I should return the favor. You can ask for anything as long as my affection pavilion can offer. It's so nice of you. We are from the same sect, you don't have to do that. But you came to help me instead of the others, and I know the way of doing things in the world. Well, we are supposed to help our fellows, but we would do it by the degrees of closeness. I ran into the third elder the moment I came back here. I thought it wouldn't take long, and I could do her a favor, yet she wanted nothing except the level 3 Hadao chamber. I tried my best to absorb energy from the Shimo spirit before the Shimo Dark Tunnel closed, and I had no time to seek information. I know what you meant. Since you want to be close to me, why don't you go further? I heard that you are born corpus ascentetum. I'm cultivating the secret of joy technique. How about we practice together one day? Shinsi said she didn't need the dual cultivation with me, and now another woman come to fill the vacancy. Are they waiting in line for me? Isn't it too? Why, are you worried that your wife will be jealous? Cultivators don't stick at trifles, let alone we are both from the evil sect. Why do you care? Ahem, Xuanji, don't molest the younger disciple. You and Xie Yan are the last to come back. We should get down to business first. Why is the Grand Elder presiding? Where is the sect leader? The 9 sects meeting has been held for a day and a night. How could the sect leader stand here and wait for the end of the meeting? She has gone back to the sect and cultivated in seclusion. She just needed to make sure that every entrance of Shimo Dark Tunnel was safe for the disciples. Including the 2 of you, 7 people at the pre-celestial stage of our sect are not killed during the 9 sects meeting. It's a kind of success. Next, according to the routine, disciples' cultivation levels need to be examined by their seniors after participating in the 9 sects meeting so as to prevent problems in cultivation in the future. The sect leader isn't here, so I will do it. Xie Yan, you made the fastest progress among the disciples. To avoid anything wrong happening to your cultivation improvement, let's start with you. No, thank you, Grand Elder. Aren't you cultivating the demonic mantra? It's a little bit different from the finger of flowery swords in terms of cultivation theory. I'd better consider my next cultivation after the sect leader finishes her closed cultivation. Master. Fine, I won't hold on to it since the 4th elder helped Yenner find a Hadao chamber. If you don't believe me, you can go to imparting elder and ask him to check what you have got by absorbing the energy of the Shimo spirit. Oh, looks like Shinsi met Xie Yan in the end. The previous information I gave her before paid off. She is the key to suppressing the Grand Elder's anger toward me. It works well in this way. The cultivation I have is special, and it's not appropriate to let many people know about it, even the sect's members. What's more, with this system, if there are some problems I can. Something goes wrong. Why do I feel there is a force surging inside my body? Are cultivation techniques clashing again? It doesn't make sense. The system is supposed to warn me if there is a problem. This feeling, could it be the act of the fragments of the Xinhua mark? What's going on? It didn't get refined? Didn't I suppress it from the beginning? Now that I think of it, it took the initiative to be suppressed at that time, but the moment I got out of the cave it's getting dormant? No, I'm still in the state of finger of flowery swords and I have to rely on the skills of true art of Mara to suppress it. There are too many people here, so let's get out of here first. Husband? Madam, your husband suddenly has a persistent abdominal pain, so I have hurried to the toilet first. I will come to your room to talk about it later. This boy is so impatient. When will he change his temper? Isn't it? We just tease him casually and he avoid us like that. Even using this type of excuse, wouldn't that be out of elegance? It's too late. Its power is far more stronger than it was in the cave, and it seems that it's getting pulled by something. If I relax it just a little bit, then it will immediately break through the suppression of true art of Mara, and get out of here. I can't hold it anymore, this strength, innate realm 4th layer? 5th layer? Or is it more than that? No, I'm getting overwhelmed, I can only let it go, but if I let it go, where will it fly to? Could it be the Xie sect? This time I'm really screwed. If Yuan Xing could learn something through it, then all my previous arrangements would be in vain. This is... Sis Yu? Isn't Sister Yu in closed-door training? How could she detect my situation and suppress the Xie seal so easily? There is another mystery in this thing, and my primordial spirit alone can only suppress it for a while. Xie Yan, quickly bring this thing to Mingyan Pavilion and come there to meet me. It's the voice of Sis Yu. Although the current crisis is resolved, how should I explain this to the Sis Yu? What history should I tell? Sister Yu. You all participated in the 9-Sex conference, and each of you competed for the opportunity based on your ability, but it was unexpected that you brought back such a thing in addition to the opportunity. If I hadn't left my primordial spirit outside, I'm afraid this thing will make you stumble, and it's even harder to say what other backhands will launch on you. This also caused Sister Yu to interrupt her retreat. It's all my fault. It doesn't matter, I was just doing some preparations before the retreat. I thought that if you could solve it yourself, I would not intervene, but since you can't solve it, as the matriarch, shouldn't it be natural for me to take action for my disciples? But before that, please tell me the ins and outs of the matter. That's fine, then I'll explain everything to Sister Yu clearly from the beginning to the end. That's how it happened. I thought I could refine this thing, but I didn't expect such sudden change after I left the cave. And I almost got caught. It turns out that this is the legendary Xie seal. It is indeed an extraordinary means of restraint. No wonder Yuan Xing ignored the common affairs, but he was still able to control the Xie sect for decades. But compared to this, you discovered the 4th level Dao Harmony room, then pretended to be Ge Huaiyu and walked with Ge Yi in the cave, and arranged to lure Su Min and others to surround and kill Ge Yi. On the way, he met the former sect master of the Xie sect and came out. After a bloody battle, he was killed by Ge Yi, rescued by another. Others attend the 9-Sex conference and focus on looking for opportunities. How come you encounter so many things when you go there? That's it. It seems that indeed. But Sister Yu, don't worry, as I said just now, I have never revealed my identity as the Maching sect during this matter, and it will not bring any trouble to the sect anyway. After careful consideration, it is better to explain everything to the Sis Yu. If something goes wrong in the future, the Maching sect will bear the brunt of it, and will be implicated. The sect always has a preparation so that it can be dealt with when the trouble comes. More importantly, since Sister Yu is not suspicious, it is not good for me to hide anything from her, except for the fact of the system and time travel involving me. No one can reveal it. The rest, there was nothing to hide. I didn't expect you to have entanglements with Ge Yi in this way after the blissful temple change, at the beginning, and now you have severed contact with this ending. You set up a plan to kill him, but you almost died due to an accident, but he risked his life to save you, but in the end you got a chance to break free from the shackles. It is said that there is God's will in the dark, but now it seems that it's true. Only your plan to stir up conflicts between Chongling Dao sect and Xie sect, although it is correct, but it still lacks a bit of heat. Missing the heat? Sister Yu is referring to. I am not as good as you when it comes to scheming, but when it comes to knowing people, I'm confident that I am better than you. The arrangement you made is logically correct, but neither Yuan Xing nor Zhao Xianten will take action easily just because of words. If they want to make up their minds to break out of conflict, they must take more concrete actions. Divine ability, immortal spiritual tracing, or celestial spirit scrying. This is Qingsong Mountain? The gate of the Xie sect. Sister Yu, does our Maching sect still have this kind of technique? Although this method is also part of the inheritance of the Maching sect, instead of calling it technique, it's more accurate to call it divine ability. Divine ability? Although the innate realm is divided into 9 layers, but it is actually divided into 3 different stages. The first stage is the innate realm 4th layer. From this stage, the Tao rhyme of heaven and earth becomes alive or full of vitality, and it is also called the spiritual Tao rhyme. If you can't comprehend the way of Qi has spirit, it is absolutely impossible to rub its own body. The so-called Qi has spirit refers to true Qi has a spirit, so that the true Qi that is originally a dead thing can be revived. To be alive is not a simple transformation, but at least to have a preliminary spiritual intelligence, and at least be able to find the enemy by itself after being released. However, Due to the abundance of martial arts among the 9 great demonic sects, the stage of the primordial spirit can be easily accessed at the innate realm first layer. The finger of flowery swords you have learned refers to the masterpiece among them, so it's not a big deal for you to pass through the first stage and reach up to innate realm's 6th layer. The second stage is the innate sealm's 7th layer. From this stage, the spiritual Tao rhyme of Kimen and earth is not visible to the world and cannot be touched by normal means, only by finding your own way in the dark, and when you harmonize your Tao with the Tao of heaven and earth, only then can you touch its existence. But the method of harmonize with the Tao of heaven and earth does not have in written words. Even for the sects like the great 9 demonic sects, the records and the classics of the techniques are vague and elusive, and we can only rely on the person's understanding. Once you step into the 3rd layer innate realm and later, then you can use your own Tao rhyme to communicate or echo with the Tao rhyme of the heaven and earth, combining the secret techniques inherited from various sects, and do many mysterious and unusual things. This is known as divine ability. Creating a personal dimension. Splitting yin and yang. Controlling day and night. As for the final 3rd stage, throughout the ages, there have been very few people who have challenged the heavenly realm. Your cultivation base is still shallow, and knowing too much will easily affect your practice, so let's not talk about that first. So it turns out that this light curtain in front of me is the divine ability of our marching sect? Didn't Sister Yu say that she must have to be at 7th layer innate realm to be able to use it? Of course not on my own, but now I'm in the headquarters of the marching sect, and the sect's array formation at the foot of the mountain gate itself is a part of divine ability. You don't think that the array formation of the mountain gate only have the guardian's ability? And the Shinhwa seal you brought back is the orthodox inheritance of the Shinhwa sect, and it is even more closely connected with the world around Chingsong Mountain, relying on it. With the help of the great array formation of the marching sect, and with my current state, I can barely do this for you. This matter? What is Sister Yu planning to do? You'll know it just by looking at it. Call Qinger out now. I need her to do me a little favor. Sister Yu has orders. I'll naturally obey. You can have anything. What is the use of Qinger? Your Qinger is full of treasures. You know it better than me. I just want to borrow something. Qinger, be good. Sister will play with you later. Right now, I need to borrow the yin qi from your body. Although your lord will suffer, the root cause is a momentary greed, but in terms of results. After all, it was my marching sect disciple who was injured by the methods of the Shinhwa sect. In reason and affection, it should be me, the matriarch of the sect, to handle this. With the means of the marching sect, return the courtesy to the Shinhwa sect. War, what's going on? Is there an earthquake? Look at the sky. This voice, is it an enemy attack? Who would be so daring as to directly attack the Shinhwa sect? This gloomy aura, it's the Chongling Dao's bastards. But who is this person? Could it be that the Taoist master Zhao Xiantan personally took action? What the hell? Attacking the gate of sects that are thousands of miles apart. This kind of unreasonable ability and strength is called divine ability. Was this the type of scene that can be saw casually by those who are in or above the 7th layer innate realm? That's Sect Master Yuan Sheng. He made a move? Sister Yu, this? It doesn't matter. With Yuan Sheng in charge, and with the support of Chingsong Mountain, it was expected that this move would return back in vain. However, with this palm motion, even if it is far away in Yidu, you can detect it a little. This is a solid slap in the face of Shinhwa sect, and it can be regarded as an injury for your whole body. For me, Sister Yu did not hesitate to challenge the Shinhwa sect. I'm so touched. Clean trick. With your ingenuity, it's impossible not to see my true intentions in doing this. Venting my anger is just a matter of convenience. Sister Yu deliberately gathered Qing'er Xin Qi, only to trick the Shinhwa sect into thinking it was an attack from Chongling Dao's sect. The arrangement you made in the cave is enough to make Chongling Dao's sect vigilant against the conspiracy of the Shinhwa sect, but Chongling Dao's sect has suffered after all. If he has lingering fears and stops his troops, as long as it takes a long time, the truth of the non-existent conspiracy threat will naturally be revealed. In order to make the fake come true, the Shinhwa sect must also regard Chongling Dao's sect as a threat. Only when the disciples of the two factions are in conflict, only then there will be possibilities of breaking out of irreconcilable conflicts. In that palm just now, I not only borrowed Xie to make it fake, but also transformed it into a shape similar to Zhao Xiantan's natal ghost moing. Even Yuan Xing couldn't tell the real from the fake. Even if he becomes suspicious in the future, the hostility brewing in the sect will not be easily dispelled. Even if he can suppress the disciples from provoking conflicts, it will be difficult for the two sects to talk peacefully from now on. In this way, you and Yenryu can completely separate from this matter. It's not like I haven't thought about what Sis said. But since I don't have the capital, I'll have to find another way. I thought that after coming out, I would pretend to be a Chongling Dao disciple, and spread the rumors about Idochi's rebirth, and take this opportunity to muddy the waters. But I didn't expect Sis to solve the problem with a single slap, and judging from the Sis proficiency in this deception. Back then, when the energy concealment pendant was still in the hands of the Sister Yu, could it be that the actual usage was similar to what I have now? After all, she is a member of the demonic path, and the experience of the Sister Yu when she was in the rivers and lakes back then must have been rich and colorful. Why didn't you speak? Is there anything wrong with my judgment? If I miscalculate something, you, as a smart person, have to fill in the blanks for me. No, Sister Yu is very considerate, so how can there be any mistakes? I'm just a little worried that Sister Yu can trace the source back to the Xinhua sect with her divine ability. Couldn't Yuan Xing can have a similar method on his side? You don't have to worry about that. Although the divine ability is mysterious, it is not a castle in the sky. Only with the presence of Yuan Xing's aura and the Xinhua seal can I act in reverse. And the power borrowed, apart from the power of heaven and earth around Qingsong Mountain, it is just the source spirit stone, which is the essence of the mountain protection formation, and no matter what. These kind of power has no special characteristics, it will disappear in an instant, and Yuan Xing could not catch any traces of it. It's a pity that our marching sect only has one source spirit stone. The great formation of the mountain gate cannot activate the power of higher levels, otherwise the blow just now might be able to cause some great damage to the Xinhua sect. That's enough. Now that the water has been muddied, there is no need to worry about the affairs of the Xinmo sect anymore. Just so you are here, according to sex rules methods, I will check your practice for you. Listening to what you said just now, and your hard vest from the Xinhua sect, I'm also a bit curious about your current skill status. Qingsong Mountain, Xinhua sect. Xinhua sect Master Yuan Xing, 6th layer and 8th realm. Sect Master, I have already sent someone to ask. Thanks to the sect Master's timely action and the defense of the mountain protection formation, no disciples of the sect were injured, but many people were frightened. It's just that, the movement just now, judging by the sinister aura, could it really be an attack from Chongling Dao sect? Desire for thinking branch Elder Yen So. He only made one move, and it disappeared with a touch, but from the richness of the Yin Qi in that attack, it's definitely from the Chongling Dao sect. I think that attack was for him to vent his anger, and to also provoke and build discord between sects. According to Ge, in the siege of the 9 sects conference, Chongling Dao and Su Min died with Yi Dao Qi, and no one survived? Looking at it now, this judgment is obviously wrong. What kind of news did Chongling Dao have for them to react so quickly? Yen So, continue to talk about what you didn't finish just now. I want to know all the details of the 9 sects conference. Yes, just now we were talking about Ge being besieged and killed by Su Min and Chongling Dao sect's people in the beginning demon cave. This old man has inquired carefully. What Ge said is not wrong. Including, he was taken away by Yi Dao Qi, and then Su Min and others died with Yi Dao Qi. Ge also did not hide anything. Looking at the overall situation, it can only be said that it was a coincidence, and God's will to deceive the people. We secretly plotted and planned for the matter of Yi Dao Qi's remnant soul, but in the end, we came with nothing. I thought that this time I could use Ge as a bait to lure out Yi Dao Qi's last remnant soul, and complement the sect master's Xinhua sect's inheritance that the sect master failed to inherit from Yi Dao Qi back then, and help the sect master to break through the bottleneck and go further. But unexpectedly, we planned it in every possible way, but because of one accidental mistake, we missed it. Strange to say, with Su Min's cunning and patient temperament, how could he suddenly decide to attack Ge and form a partnership with Chongling Dao sect? Although there was no concealment in Ge's testimony, it was also difficult for Ge himself to determine which side initiated the siege at that time. It doesn't matter whose plan it is. Speaking of this matter, it is also my fault. In order to concentrate on cultivation and not check and balance the power of the sect, I deliberately let these two people compete and fight for so many years. Now that the conflict broke out, it caused me suffer the consequences. Back then, The sect master secretly selected talented disciples and induced them to practice the special skills left by Yi Daoqi, and without exception they gave up halfway. It was not easy for Ge Huaiyu to enter the door, but for some reason he was unable to step in the first layer innate realm at that time. Otherwise, there is no need to choose Ge Yi as the bait as deputy patriarch. He has already attracted everyone's attention, and then he was involved in the Chongling Dao sect's hostilities. The current result is not without a trace. With Yi Daoqi's arrogance, he would definitely think that Ge Yi fell into a situation dictated by his own body, and he never expected that the sect master was behind this. It's a pity. He took the bait but got off the hook, and even the sect master's backhands also fell through. It's just that now Su Min, Kunling and Wan Busi have died in the beginning demon cave. And my Xinhua sect has lost 3 innate realm masters at once. If it spreads, I am afraid that there will definitely be changes inside and outside the sect. Leave him alone. As long as this seat is here, no matter if it is Chongling Dao or the world's young peoples, they will not be able to cause any disturbance. As for the inside of the sect, according to what you reported just now, it has been secretly detected that Ge Yi's vitality is greatly damaged, and his realm is unstable, and he may fall at any time. Even his mind wedge and Xinhua seal has been broken. Indeed, this is also within our expectations. Yi Daoqi is determined to act decisively, and he may abolish his body before being seized. That's why the sect master made a move on the Xinhua seal on his body to ensure that Ge Yi would not die due to self-destruction, right? But according to what you said, Ge Yi was temporarily seized by Yi Daoqi during the battle? Yes, if Ge Yi went to extremes before, Yi Daoqi would definitely take him on the spot. But if later, Yi Daoqi is dead, what reason would he have? From this point of view, Ge Yi was worried that the sect would hold him accountable, as he was personally practicing the desire for thinking branch, so I think he might have been hiding something else. This old man will go now and investigate him again. The reason doesn't matter. Yi Daoqi can't be possessing Ge Yi, since there's no remnant soul left and hiding in Ge Yi's body. Our plans have already failed, and the details are irrelevant now. It's just Ge Yi's private practice of desire for thinking branch, resulting in the breaking of the Xinhua seal, isn't solid evidence. Considering his past achievements, he is allowed to use his skills. But it's time for him to give up the rights in his hands, punish him to temporarily take over Su Min's post and make him take care of the sect's library. You will take over the position of deputy patriarch, and you will take over the position of Ge Yi's on your behalf, and then you will select 2 people from desire for smell and seed branches and promote them to the position of elders to fill in the missing chief positions. The old man obeyed. Moreover, Ge Huaiyu didn't enter the beginning demon cave from the entrance of the Xinhua sect, so where he is now. According to what Ge said, Ge Huaiyu replaced the identity of a certain disciple of the great 9 demonic sects, and entered the beginning demon cave from another sect, and now he has probably traveling around the rivers and lakes, right? Does sect master wants to send someone to catch him and bring him back? No, it's not beautiful to startle the snake. You tell Ge Yi that when Ge Huaiyu returns, ask him to bring someone to see me, and when he comes back, tell him that I have the opportunity to bestow his son. Moreover, contact that person, and invite him to come to the Xinhua sect to talk. I am willing to meet him in person for a while. Sect master? Are you going to? Yi Daoqi's last remnant soul have disappeared. No matter whether he's still living in the beginning demon cave or not, it has nothing to do with me now, since there is no way to continue the orthodox inheritance of the Xinhua sect. Then this seat will find another way, using a path that no one in the great 9 demonic sect had ever tried before to step on the last 3 layers of innate realm and finally ascend to the heavenly realm. Well, as expected. Your situation is more complicated than I expected it to be. Is there something wrong? Sister Yu, from your expression, could there be something wrong with my cultivating method? There is no problem with the cultivation method itself. The problem lies in your method of making the 2 cultivation techniques coexist side by side. Although I can't see the root source of your method, it is undoubtedly a very powerful force to even make finger of flowery swords, and the cultivation method you secretly learned from the Xinhua sect to not interfere with each other. It is even so strong that it can't be shaken. All practitioners in this world probably may only choose one cultivation technique as their foundation, and its roots lie in the Tao rhyme. You should also know that the amount of Tao rhyme present in the heaven and earth directly affects the speed of practice, and this effect does not depend on the will of the practitioner. In the process of cultivation, Tao rhyme will unknowingly nourish the cultivation techniques and boost or improve the cultivation realm, and the more cultivation techniques you have, the more amount of Dao rhyme is required. Thus, the effect of Dao rhyme will naturally fade, and the efficiency of one's practice will become lower and lower over time. And it's only a small problem. The real big problem is the more cultivation techniques one had practiced, especially the level of skills like finger of flowery swords, the more difficult it will be for the cultivation technique to be in harmony with the Tao. If you continue to be greedy like this, it's likely that you'll stop at the 7th layer innate realm forever even before reaching your threshold. There are not a few innate realm masters who practice multiple skills, but those skills are often consumed and swallowed up by their own basic skills in the process of practice, and are eventually melted down into a single furnace, and the means on your body just put an end to this possibility. It's fine if it's an ordinary disciple with limited talent, but your cultivation talent definitely surpasses everyone else's, and for the sake of long-term considerations, this matter must be resolved first. Is there any hidden danger? It doesn't matter if the efficiency is low, there is a system anyway. The key is that it will be getting more and more difficult for me to harmonize with the Tao, but it won't get my cultivation process stuck, right? No, probably not. The improvement from the system does not depend on Tao rhyme. As long as there is corresponding techniques and sufficient origin points, it is estimated that I can reach the heavenly realm in just a matter of minutes. However, right now finger of flowery swords and true art of Mara are completely separated. It would be great if they could be freely switched between each other like the previous 8 difficulties demonic technique. It's a shame that the system's compatible method option has never been triggered again, and there's a bit of a feeling that I'm outdated, this bastard trash system. For the current situation, I can only think of a way for you. Sister, you can do it? After all, I am one of the sect masters of the 9 great demonic sections. First, related to the inheritance of the 9 great demonic sects, there are still some fragments of words in the secret records of the sect. What's more, because of my talent, I've learned this way, and I should be able to find a solution if I spend some time at most. Wouldn't Sister you will return back to her retreat? It's really inappropriate for you to be bothered by me. You don't have to worry about me, I'll figure out a way for myself. You boy, you are affectionate and righteous. But you found the 4th level Tao Harmony Room in the 9 Sects Conference, and you have the heart to share it with Xie. I should reward you both publicly and privately, and this matter is not difficult for me, and it does not require much effort. This, helping fellow disciples, is a natural thing, not to mention the relationship between the husband and wife. This kind of thing is nothing special. No, the so-called no reward for no merit. Sister you gave her precious time to help me, so I must share it with Sister you, no worries. Share worries? What are my worries? Didn't Sister you just say that if the Sexth Mountain Guarding Array formation had more Source Spirit Stones, it would be able to display a more powerful divine ability? I can find the Source Spirit Stones and bring it back to the sect. Source Spirit Stone? Do you have it, or do you know the whereabouts of this thing? This matter has to start with me pretending to be Gavwayu, and encountering Yenryu, so and on. In the corner of Shilan Kingdom, there are still some unused Source Spirit Stones. This is really exciting and an unexpected thing. If you can bring back this thing, it will indeed be of great use to our sect in the future. Since Sister you said so, it is more and more inevitable to get this thing. I'll be leaving for an appointment after that, and my sister have to wait for the good news. It's fine, then, I won't delay you any longer. Prepare early, and you should be careful for your trip to Shilan Kingdom. As for cultivation matters, when I return from Shilan Kingdom, I will most likely have an idea. It's strange, Sister you seems to be urging me to leave in the end. Originally I wanted to ask about the Bailianxia sect and the Qi Liang cult. Now I can only check it by myself. That's Xinxi. Why is she here? Is it possible that she was waiting for me? Madam, why are you here? Let me guess, you must be aware of your husband's abnormal condition just now, and secretly worried about me. That's why you came here specifically to ensure that your husband is not in any danger, right? Husband, just joke. Didn't you leave in a hurry because of your stomachache? If Xinxi was worried about her husband, she should have gone home to wait. Why did she come here? Right now, I just have something to report to the master, and I happened to find my husband inside, so I had to wait outside. This witch is really very stubborn, and she even refuses to admit it. Therefore, let the madam go in first. Sister you should be free now. If you don't have other important things for your husband, then the husband will leave first. Husband is in such a hurry. Are you in a rush to prepare for the trip to Shilan Kingdom with that treacherous beauty? Madam, this place is elder Sister Yu's resting place, so it wouldn't be appropriate to eavesdrop on secretly, right? Husband misunderstood. Kindness is not eavesdropping. Just didn't let you pay attention and I accidentally listened. If Master doesn't want me to know something, she can block me out with just one thought. If she wants me to know, even if I don't say it, she will tell me afterwards. In this case, I will listen to it in advance. What about the heirs? Then, Xie really didn't expect her husband's temperament. Husband was about to reveal all these things to the master. No wonder my husband have left the room in a hurry before and disappeared. Only. Not being the first to know about the secret of her husband made Xie a little sad. If you think about it, Xie was oblivious to the fact that her husband pretended to be Guhuayu and killed Zhao Shi. But why didn't her husband tell Xie and be honest with her at that time? The lady misunderstood. The so-called acting and doing a full set. At that time your husband hadn't completely cut off contact with Guyi, so it was best to be careful. Now that there are no more worries, this matter is not a secret anymore and naturally known to you and Sister Yu. If it wasn't for this witch recognition at the end of the simulation world, how dare I believe it lightly? God knows what have happened if I was to use Guhuayu's disguise to do something more dangerous. Thanks God I calculate and rearrange the plans before based on what happened with the witch before. Husband said this because he was worried that Xie would intervene and disrupt your layout after knowing the secret. So now, don't you worry that Xie will go to Xilan Kingdom with husband for the sake of source spirit stones. Just joking, husband, don't worry. It took so much effort to get the matching sect out of everyone's sight. How could Xie go overboard and make my husband's arrangement fail? It's just that my husband needs to be cautious on this trip. Yanryu's scheming is not inferior to mine. Although the husband said she has been manipulated by you every time, but don't forget that from the beginning to the end, the husband never had a conflict of core interests with her before. Lini, during this trip to Xilan Kingdom, the two demonic sects will be on alert, in case of any change in situation. The most important thing is not to be trifled with is your humble and small partner. Don't worry, madam, it's just your husband taking advantage of others, and even if she wants to be, she should only be used by your husband if she wants to take advantage of her. Is that so? After all, apart from kindness, there shouldn't be any woman who can take advantage of my husband, right? I thought that after the 9-sex conference, the witch would become more friendly, but I didn't expect her to be basically the same. It seems that if you want to get her pink beauty chi again, you still have to work hard. That's all, let's go to Hulu Town first. Although it is still early until the 15th day, the two lackeys of Xie Lu are also nearby, so I have to go there as soon as possible to solve the problem of these two people's passive sabotage. The next day, the Xie Lu building. In the past 2 months, Eternal Heavens' momentum has been getting better and better, not to mention that it has almost covered the area, and there is a tendency to expand towards the east and south. With an achievement like this, it is enough to convince the ancestor Mara later. The Eternal Heavens is growing rapidly, and we also took advantage of this to poach a lot of corners from Xie Lu, although those disciples have never seen the ancestor Mara with their own eyes. The body of the demon has changed, which is more convincing than any words. Now the disciples of the Eternal Heavens have considered the ancestor of Mara same as the ancestor of bliss, and we are the sole spokesman of the ancestor Mara. This Eternal Heavens is the power of the ancestor Mara in name, but it is you and me who actually give them orders. If the ancestor Mara can really handle the ancestor of bliss, then we will naturally ascend to the heavens as chickens and dogs. But if he is unable to escape defeat in the end, with the things you and I hold in our hands, it is enough to set up another mountain and dominate the rivers and lakes. But having said that, spies reported that the Tianmin and Qifeng gangs in the northwest were also blood sacrificed. And the method was the same as the original 5 poison sects method. Let me tell you that while this method was effective, it didn't help us much in excavating the corners of the Xie Lu. However, Ancestor Mara asked us to verify his fame. Now that his name is spreading in rivers and lakes, we have completed the task. Why don't we just close our eyes? Really, then next time you don't have to send people to do this. Let's just focus on infiltrating the Xie Lu. Huh, you mean me? I never sent anyone to these 2 places. No? Never. I thought it was your order, so I told you about it. Ancestor, strength is boundless. It's also not mine, so what happened to these people? Could it be the ancestor Mara's handwriting? Impossible? How could the ancestor do these things himself? Could it be that he didn't just ask us to spread the belief of eternal heavens for him? This is not the first time this happened this month, and it always feels like. What are you doing outside? It's so noisy, isn't it time for the daily routine of worship? Oh, it seems that you are following the decree of this seat, sincerely each day. What is this voice? Ancestor Mara, with boundless magic power, supernatural powers come to the world, purify the world. It's just the results of your words and deeds, it's far from the worth of respectful attitude. Ancestor Mara? This seat bestows the faith of longevity, not for you to seek personal gain for yourself. The fire of faith is dimmed, and the desires of all living beings are perished. Heaven 7 and Heaven 12. Convicted? Greetings, Elder Mara. Elder Mara, what brings you here in person? We have been conscientious for the past few months. We've kept in mind and abided by the 3 doctrines of immortal sky. We dare not slacken off. We have no idea of the crime that you said. Oh, are you saying that I wronged you? Well, we don't mean that, but I know that there must be something dissatisfying you at the moment. Whatever the problem, we are at your service all the time. It seems that Sky 12 has already realized that nothing we have done is against the wishes of Elder Mara. We just took the opportunity to control the believers secretly. No matter how powerful Elder Mara is, he can't figure out what we are thinking about in our minds. All right, now we just need to dispel his suspicion of us, and then everything will go as usual. After all, he has something else to do and he will not stay here to monitor us. How did he sense the anomaly? His sudden appearance caught us off guard. Elder Mara, why don't you take a seat first and let me explain to you? Humph. What an arrogant idiot. If you don't see the outside world, you will never understand the thing that you try so hard to get is just something worthless. Take a seat? Demonic art of Mara, magic realm. In my eyes, this is the only place that can be called a seat. Again? And why are there so many people around? This is the altar of immortal sky, which has been abandoned for many years and has been restored now. Both of you are the first believers I have received after my rebirth. You were sent here by my miracle sign. You should know what I mean. Miracle sign? Teleport? Does this mean that it is a real place? But Elder Mara is not at the multi-celestial stage. I guess it's just a powerful illusion. But it is still frighteningly real. I can't tell whether it is real or fake. However, in the presence of Elder Mara, even if it is fake, we still must say it is real. Thank you for trusting us. It's our honor to be here. It's hard to express our gratitude. Cut the crap. Now that I have sat down, it is your turn to defend your guilt. Elder Mara, may I know what on earth did we do wrong? Please make it clear and let us know where to explain. Do you see these thousands of lights all over here? They are immortal lights, which light by absorbing the wish power of the people in the world. I asked you to carry forward my reputation to gather the strength of the people and reignite the lights in immortal sky. The more people believe in immortal sky and extol my reputation, the longer the lights will last. When you first entered immortal sky, the wish power flowed in here unceasingly. But in the last 2 months, few new lights have been lit. I thought you guys kept a low profile because Bliss Sky noticed what you have done. But what I saw proved me wrong, so there is only one explanation for that. You're slacking off. You've completely forgotten what I asked you to do. We didn't forget, Elder Mara. You must misunderstand us. How dare you? Are you questioning Elder Mara? Don't push me to kill you right now. How is that possible? Isn't this Elder Mara's illusion? If it were an illusion, how could he hurt Sky 12? If it were an illusion, no matter how powerful the attack is, Sky 12 would have woken up early. Were we wrong from the beginning? Here is not an illusion but the altar of immortal sky. And these people, they are all followers of immortal sky. Internal power can revive everything. He's stronger than me, but he is still not at the top of the rank. I can't imagine what realms the rest of the people are in. What the hell is the real strength of immortal sky? Sky 7, Sky 12 didn't answer my question. Now, it's your turn. Elder Mara, we did not slack off at all. We have been carrying forward the doctrines of immortal sky day and night. But your judgment couldn't be wrong. Judging from what happened, I have an assumption, which may explain the current situation. Oh, go ahead. I found that blood sacrifices have taken place in many places recently. But after checking, we found that we didn't send anyone to do that, and I guess you didn't order others to do it either. So I'm bold to guess whether someone pretended to be the people of immortal sky to do something wrong secretly. Since the wish power to the lights must be produced by people's belief in immortal sky. If they believe in a fake immortal sky, the wish power may not flow in here. What the hell? Someone is acting under the guise of Elder Mara to steal my origin points. I didn't think about that. My identity is always needed as an anchor point to collect origin points from a distance, except for once that I didn't get the emotional origin points from Gui when I disguised myself as Guhuayu in front of him. So in this way, once the identity of Elder Mara no longer belongs to me alone, those who believe in immortal sky will naturally no longer provide me with the origin points. Damn! How dare someone steal my origin points? I can't stand it. I see, what you said makes sense, but since I asked you to do that, you should be responsible for that. Pretending to be immortal sky is the greatest blasphemy to me. Sky 7 and Sky 12. I guess you know what to do. Yes, Elder Mara, we'll try our best to find out the people who gathered the wish power in the name of immortal sky and punish them. Elder Mara, don't worry, we have already got some clues about them, and we will never let them be at large. Good, and what happens next is crucial. Elder Mara, why do you have to let these two young people do that for you? They're incompetent, and don't deserve to be the advocates of immortal sky. I think it's better to kill them and choose a better person. Elder Mara, please give us another chance. We didn't expect that, but we can make up for it. That's right, they are just at the first 3 levels of the pre-celestial stage. They are not qualified to get the trust of Elder Mara. Let me do that. I can kill all the sinners who have tarnished immortal sky in 10 days. How about them? How long will they take? Make up for it? It is incompetent to fail to solve the problem before Elder Mara gives the order. I think they are not loyal to Elder Mara and have no faith in immortal sky. Enough. You all have more important things to do. Elder Joy is more powerful than you guys, so you still need to nibble away from the inside of the bliss sky so as not to alert him. When the great cause succeeds, the world will be protected by immortal sky forever. Although they are not powerful, they can help us to pave the way forward. Great cause? Does he want to do more than kill Elder Joy? Well, if so, what is the point of what we did secretly? If we follow Elder Mara, what we will get in the future is more than the bliss sky. Oh, even the origin point of respect came out. It seems that the process of waiting is almost over. As for their faith, they have lighted the immortal light with their own wish power, which is enough to prove they are pious. Gosh, Elder Mara can even perceive our thoughts? So everything here, including immortal sky and these lights, is real. Elder Mara's miracle sign is. We are so ridiculous. We even dreamed of taking advantage of Elder Mara and building our own sect, but in the end, we are so pretentious and short-sighted. Since you have proved your faith to me, I will give you the tokens of immortal sky. With this, I can call you here at any time. Now come forward and accept them. Huluin. Okay, I have dealt with Sky 7 and Sky 12 successfully. Now they should not be able to make trouble even if I am not with them. I didn't expect that you would easily insert the heart triggers into them. Are you really a genius in the field of heart desire branch? You think it is easy? Actually, it's not easy at all. It is the first time that I have inserted the heart trigger into people, if not counting the heart triggers I inserted into myself and Gui. After operating it personally, I realized why it took so much time for Idaoshi to insert heart triggers into me and Chin Shinsi. It is just a collection of thoughts. Controlling thoughts enables me to control people's actions, but the more complex the action is, the more thoughts must be controlled, and the more sophisticated the gap is to be cut in the target's soul. With my cultivation of the heart desire branch, it was already the limit to insert the heart trigger of advocating Elder Mara's reputation with all their efforts. If I want to dominate people's thoughts completely, it is far from enough to rely on the magic realm alone. Is that enough? I thought you would transform these two people into crazy believers of Elder Mara. There is no need to do that. Even if I transform them into fanatics, how many origin points can I get from them? After all, the more people I have, the more origin points I can get. Now I've found the root of the problem. Let them deal with it first. So will we just wait here? Yeah, anyway, there is still a lot of time for us. We just need to accumulate enough origin points to deal with trouble before arriving in the Shilan Kingdom. 10 days later. Well, after dealing with Sky 7 and Sky 12, they have changed a lot and have worked for me with 100% effort. I have got more origin points than before during this period, but it is still not as efficient as it was at the beginning. It is really not easy to reveal the truth about anything. Forget it. These origin points are enough for me to start the transmigration. I should try hard to gain more origin points from the main world. As for the transmigration mode, 500 origin points are not enough for flesh travel, but they're enough for soul travel. Taodu World? Well, it's an interesting name. I have to get more origin points when I travel there this time. Transmigration function initialized. Tao Du world is found.